Man, I watched two dudes shank each other all up behind the television while I was in jail. Yeah, that's right. One wanted to touch the remote and the other one didn't want the other one touching the remote. And neither one of them were chumps or punks. Actually, I knew both of them. I was cool with both of them. But it wasn't nothing I should have been involved in. Nothing I wasn't going to, I wasn't, cool enough with both of them to where I could have stepped in and broke them up. I knew both of them. I was cooler with one than the other, but, knew one from the street, but went to school with one in elementary. Got cool with the other one from the parish jail all the way to the prison level. But this was a fight that I wasn't going to step in. They only had one person in the whole dorm who was cool with both of them on the streets since they were both kids, and he's the one who broke it up. Let's talk about it. So one day, partner of mine in this little parish, parish camp is basically a parish jail that's set up to hold state prisoners. That's right. This is prisoners who should be in state-run facilities in Louisiana. But of course, we all know Louisiana has so many prisoners and so many inmates that the state prisons, as big as they are and as many as they are, just don't have enough room. So they send you out to these little, state parish jails. It's basically a jail and not a prison. So you in pretty much all day. And you go up for a little bit of yard time here and there, and you're supposed to be getting some kind of rehabilitational programming while you're in there, but that's just garbage. I went to this one because it was the end of my sentence, and I was getting sent to a halfway house, and I had to go take some kind of drug rehabilitational class, which I got somewhere there, but honestly, it wasn't too great. I still went in it trying to gain something from it, some kind of knowledge, because I didn't want to, keep repeating the cycle, and I had it on my mind I was going to do better and do right. And honestly, I didn't know if this program was going to be good or not, but it was what it was. I don't really remember much from it. I just know that I wanted to change in my heart. Anyway, it was chaotic inside these little dormitories. It was wide open. It's like the parish jail, loud, loud, loud all day. From the time that dudes get up to the time that most people go to sleep, there's a small window of peace where it gets to around, a certain time at nighttime, probably around midnight-ish, 11:30, midnight-ish, to about 7, 8 in the morning, to where, you got your most peace. But throughout the rest of the day, it's just going to be blah, 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 blah. TV on nonstop, dudes yelling and screaming, slamming cards, slamming dominoes, talking loud, showers running, toilets flushing. This is the lifestyle that they have inside these little parish jails. And I'm at the end of my sentence. This is when I'm convict mode, you know what I mean? So I'm just doing my time. I'm on my out, you know what I mean? I'm at the back end of my sentence, and I'm going home. This is probably about 10, 11 months before I was going home. And, like I said, I'm going to back in. But a partner of mine, one dude used to control the remote a lot. And the other dude, he woke up and he went change the channel. The other dude didn't like to change the channel. He's like, man, give me that remote. And my man was like, nah, I ain't giving you the remote. Now, one of the dudes, he was probably about 6'3", and the other one was roughly about my height, give or take a little bit. And I'm about 5'10", so he's about my height. Like I said, the other one's about 6'2", 6'2"-ish, 6'3"-ish. And so these two dudes, the ones who sick, the taller one, he had the remote. And the other dude's like, man, give me my remote. He's like, man, I ain't giving you no remote. And so the other dude, they started arguing, going back and forth, calling each other these names back and forth. So finally, the other dude, they went back. He walked away. He's like, man, you gonna give me that remote? He's like, I ain't giving you the remote. So finally, bam, dude snuck him, man. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, boom, they start fighting. Boom. He caught the one who had the remote, the taller dude. He got caught off guard by the shorter dude hitting him, who was a smaller dude. He was a skinny dude, but he was a wild dude. He snuck him, and the dude caught him off guard. He was like surprised, and boom, boom. So dude threw a mix on him real quick. He didn't drop the bigger dude, but as they went to fight, and as the bigger dude finally, after he got hit about 5 or 6 times, because he was so stunned by it, and then he started fighting back. And by the time they started fighting back with each other, they wound up on the ground. And the little smaller dude, he was quick. He was quick on his feet, man. When he hit first, and he went in for the kill, you know what I mean? So my man who was bigger, he was on the ground. So when he's punching, they swipe, he's laying on the ground flat like this, and you can't pull your hands back and punch because the concrete's right there. So his hands are only going like this, you know what I mean? Kind of like that, as opposed to, coming back with some power, using that body. But he was kind of more like this because he couldn't, because the concrete, and dude was just on top of him. And my man wasn't trying to grab his hands. He was taking them punches from the dude on top of him. He was just boom, 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 hitting him in the head. But like I said, he was a smaller dude, so they wasn't being as effective. But he was taking them, the bigger guy on the ground. He was just punching back straight forward. He had the lower position, which was harder. And they fought, man. They got up finally. A dude broke him up. Said, no, y'all stand up and stand, y'all stand up toe to toe, chest to chest, man. Go chest to stand up, man. So he got him off the ground. So they threw it back up. Boom, boom, boom. They fighting. Well, finally, the smaller dude was like, he ain't letting it go. So they tied. Next thing you know, he goes to his locker. Man, like, man, what he's gonna get? They're like, man, he's gonna get a knife. He's like, you're nice. So the other dude, the bigger dude, he went grabbed his lock and in another lock, and he wrapped it up in a sock and tied it up real quick. And the dude came with a knife. He had a little sticker. It was one of those small blades. And he ran at him. He sticks him. He got dude hit him in the head with the lock. Boom, boom. They stick and hit him in the lock. Boom, boom, boom. Stab, shank, shank. Dude's hitting him in the head with the lock. Man, blood's everywhere. Boom, boom, boom. They go on for, and fights in jail could be long or they could be quick, but most of them are quick. So this probably all happened within about a 40, 50 second interval where they sticking each other, hitting with the knife, bang, bang, going back and forth, man, calling each other names, you know what I mean? And finally, the dude who was cool with both of them, he went and broke them up. He said, man, y'all, that's it, blood everywhere. He said, we're going to clean this up. I got this. Don't nobody here say nothing to no police. And everybody's watching. I'm like, man, this is crazy, man. All behind a television remote. This was all behind a television remote. I was saying some other stuff just recently, telling on another video, man, the television will get you in a lot of trouble in jail. And these two dudes were about it. The average person in jail ain't touching no TV remote. I'm telling you, they talking smack. I didn't touch no TV remotes in jail. The one time I did, me and my cellie almost got into it. You know what I mean? So I don't mess with no TV remotes. I don't care that much about the TV when I was a kid. So I'm not going to go to prison to care about the TV. Most of the stuff that's on television is garbage anyhow. But I did do a lot of reading the newspaper and reading books. And I got far more knowledge than any fool would get fighting behind the television. And that's what it is. It's foolish. So if you're fighting behind the television, I get it. You got to stand your ground. But think about it, man. That's stupid. That's dumb. You know what I mean? There's so much more to learn in books. Man, you got to read a book if you're in jail. You got to read books. You got an opportunity to gain knowledge. You got an opportunity to teach yourself some stuff that they're not going to teach you. You can get your one up. You get the upper hand by reading. And we're going to talk about reading in prison another time. But that's where you get your stuff. That's where you get your knowledge, your strength. It comes from that information in those books and how you perceive it. And take that information, that data, and put it in this computer called your brain. And process that as opposed to fighting over a TV. Like I said, this parish jail was crazy. It was chaotic, nonstop, loud every day. It's not the place you want to be. I'm glad I'm gone and I'm glad I'm out. But I did my time. I served my time. I handled my business. I got through. But I'm telling you, fighting for a TV, that ain't no way to live. And listen, if you're thinking about going to jail and doing something stupid, you can get stuck in jail watching stuff you don't want to watch all day long. You can be hearing that stuff, especially in the parish jail down here in the South. You're going to watch some BET. You might not like it, but you're going to hear it unless you find a way to drown it out. That's what that's what's going to be on beside the news most of the day, in the parish jail. Now, when you get to the state prisons, they're going to have different things. You're going to watch your Young and the Restless and all that. It ain't going to be as much as the music videos, but in the parish jail, you're going to get rap videos and R&B videos all day long. That's just the way it's going to be, Jerry Springer, man, that was back in my era. I was in prison in the 90s. It was Jerry Springer in and out. Watch Jerry Springer in fist fight. It was crazy. I hate that show, Jerry Springer. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But anyway, that's the story of two dudes who knew each other, who were cool with each other, grew up together, knew each other from the streets, and got into a brutal fight with knives, locks behind a TV remote. Man, give me a like and subscribe and check out With or Without Parole as I'm trying to get this thing going, man. Support a smaller channel. Let's get it.